In today's hyper-connected world, more teens are experiencing anxiety, and many parents are beginning to wonder if screens could partly be to blame. Beyond just the technology, the way young people relate to their devices may be sending signals about deeper emotional needs. And joining us today is Melanie White from Mel White Parent Coaching. It's good to have you with us. What's the link between screen time and anxiety among teens? What are we sort of seeing here?
Yes, so it's definitely something that's top of mind right now, and particularly with the parents that I work with, it's something that's causing the parents' anxiety as well. So the main connection between screen time and anxiety is actually less about the screen time itself and more about what they're missing out on when they are spending time on screens. So what is that screen replacing? For example, rest, having fun, in-person connection, movement, boredom, all of those things that they need for emotional regulation. And that's kind of where the pinnacle piece of anxiety is coming out.
Yeah, it's interesting. There are sort of images I've seen out there where it's like people's attention's being drawn into this screen, and you're right, it takes that energy, it takes away those fun moments and those things that, me as a 90s kid got to enjoy. But why do you think anxiety is rising among young people at the moment? There is a lot going on in the world, but it's interesting, young people just seem less carefree than perhaps they were in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, they're constantly influenced by things like, the state of the world. Also things like, what are their friends doing? What are, famous teenagers doing? We're in this world of famous teen TikTokers. And they're heavily influenced by this idea of perfectionism and all of these other elements that are constantly being fed to them, where otherwise they wouldn't have had that exposure. So anxiety in these, circumstances is their brain saying, I'm overwhelmed. There's a lot that I can't control and something's just not feeling right. And so it's not necessarily something to fix, but it's something that they're flagging with us as, educators, as coaches, as parents.
Yeah, okay. So what can parents do besides just taking the phone away? My parents used to try and take the cables from my Nintendo away, but I would always find them. Take us through a bit about something parents can perhaps start to do in order to help with this.
Yeah, the biggest thing is to reduce that restriction, actually. And I know it sounds really counterproductive, but if your focus is purely on control, it's going to have the opposite effect. Instead, you want to focus on pillars like communication, collaboration, get them involved, get them to start getting curious and thinking about, right, what can I do instead of being on my screen? And how is it actually making me feel before I, enter my screen time and after I enter my screen time? Am I feeling better or am I just feeling worse? And start to get them really involved in the conversation rather than it be like a dictatorship. So it's about communication, collaboration, openness and safety. They're the key things that you want to do as a parent and foster in your home environment. And the other thing you can do is, try a tech together time. So perhaps it's like, a Friday night and everybody has something that they teach or show that they've learned from technology. So using it in a positive way, it's all about intention.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. My fiance and I the other night were watching different music videos and sort of swapping music videos back and forth and going, have you seen this one? Have you seen that? And we haven't done that in a long time. So it was a nice example. But how can families build healthy digital habits without that shame or fear that can come alongside, when you're watching the media and it's like social media is out to get your kids, that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. So if I go back to digital intentions, right? What is the intention? What are you trying to achieve by being on your phone or on your iPad right now? And if your teen is coming up to you and saying, look, I literally just am trying to communicate with my friends, organize something for the weekend, I think that's a fair intention. When it's just doom scrolling or, just aimless with no aim behind what they're actually doing, that's when you need to have deeper conversations. So that's when you need to ask questions like, what are you hoping to feel after this? What are you hoping to gain? What are you hoping to do? And if their answer is simply, I just want to relax and unwind, then it's expanding their horizons on different ways they can do that. And also, and this is a huge one, modeling good screen time boundaries as an adult, right? We're all guilty.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to just sit there and go into a scroll hole. So if you're modeling good screen boundaries, your teens are going to pick up on that.
Yeah, I was just, sorry, what was that, Mel? I was just scrolling. I'm kidding. But it's so easy to do, and you're so right. Mel, I'm curious to know if people want to find out more, perhaps discuss with you and get some assistance with this, because we do know that parenting is already challenging enough without the world being right at your children's eyeballs all the time. Where's the best place to go to connect with you and learn a bit more?
Ironically, social media. So we meet people where they're at, right? So you can jump on my social media, my Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, all the same, at Mel White Parent Coach. And you can visit my website, melwhiteparentcoach.com. Loads of resources. I post regular videos and information. And I also have a podcast called Your Parent Coach, available wherever you listen, with some valuable things there as well.
Wonderful stuff from you, and I appreciate you taking the time to speak to us today.
Thank you so much.